Content warning. The following video contains material that may be harmful or traumatizing to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to the hit list. You can't escape your face on the news. Don't mess with fate. Locked up in prison, wood chipper running hot. Police on a mission, hope you don't get caught. Silver bracelets tight, get arrested tonight. In this endless fight, can't hide from the lies. Lies and deception, caught in the storm. Future in question, nowhere left to run. Silver bracelets tight, get arrested tonight. In this endless fight, can't hide from the light. The choices you made, heading one way. No turning back, this price to pay. Lies and deception, caught in the storm. Future in question, nowhere left to run. Silver bracelets tight, get arrested tonight. In this endless fight, can't hide from the light. The choices you made, heading one way. No turning back, this price to pay. Oh yeah, no, no, yeah, yeah, yeah. The choices you made, heading one way. No turning back, this price to pay. Oh. Whoa, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How old would you think this girl is right here?
Like 12.
How about these girls right here?
Younger.
Younger? Are you saying like
Younger than puberty. That one, yes, because that one's on anonymous about every single time that I go on there.
okay, so you've seen it multiple times.
Yes, and I'm all like, hey, get that away from me.
You just watched a man sit across from a detective, look at images of children being abused, and try to explain it away. What you're about to see is the full interrogation of Jason, a young man from Illinois who was arrested after Google flagged illegal content stored across multiple accounts linked to his name, his device, and his home address. This is not fiction. This is a real police interrogation. And over the next 45 minutes, we're going to walk through it, second by second. Because understanding how these cases unfold is one of the most powerful tools we have to protect children. Stay with me.
Jason, swing your feet out this way. We'll go straight this way. I'll sit with you in here, and then he'll come in here, and he'll take those cuffs off you. You want to pull it out for?
First time officially being in cuffs rather than my dumbass doing dumb and getting more so at home.
Oh yeah. He'll explain it all to you in a second.
And Joe was trying to be all like, hey, how long is this going to take?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm just on patrol.
Roughly, how long would you think it would take?
You can ask him that right when he gets in here, but I'm not quite sure. You got plans today?
Drop off paperwork,
For
medical waiver,
what?
going back into the military,
Oh, all right. What branch?
National Guard. Gonna do six-year contracts.
Nice. Were you in previously?
The whole reason why I had to get a medical waiver is an RE30 waiver, which has already been passed. More so stating that I'm mentally stable.
Yeah.
For them knowing that I'm not gonna be able to, oh hey, I'm gonna SI on or kill myself on the shooting range.
Yeah.
Since you've been cool.
Like I told them on the way here,
Sorry, let me fix this for you here real quick. I don't want to hurt you.
like I said to him on the way here, I was all like, I'd normally wave at y'all. Like I like to be in good graces with.
Alright, is that a little bit more comfortable for you?
Yes.
Okay. And just to let you know, I'm Detective Wilson. I do have a body camera on, alright? So to see. But before we do anything, because we're in a police station and whatnot, I gotta read your Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can be used against a court of law. Your right to an attorney, if you can't afford one, will be appointed to you for free at no charge. Do you understand the rights that I just said to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me explain everything that's going on. Do you have any idea or any guess why I'm here or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay.
Unless if it's due to the fact of not my tag, but my insurance being out.
Well, do you think we would do a search warrant in somebody's house for insurance? All right. So
It's Illinois, what do you expect?
well, I got better things to do than just that, man. So let me explain what I do. I do investigations on things related to online accounts. All right, and so your Googles, your Facebooks, your Snapchats, TikToks, whatever. Anytime they find something weird on accounts, they make a report to the police, and that gets disseminated to the appropriate police agency. So back in March this year, Google got a notification or some notifications on a bunch of your accounts, because you actually have multiple Google accounts. You don't just have one.
Oh, yeah, that's because, so, first one, hey, I lost it.
Which account was that? Sorry. Okay. It wasn't. There was no numbers or anything like that in there.
No.
Okay. So you lost that one.
I lost that one.
Okay.
And then I went over to iCloud or somewhere that wasn't Google, and then it was King John.
Yeah.
Then I got tired of not being able to see my emails, email notifications. Then I made Stampad.
That's your account.
I don't use that one anymore.
Okay.
I stopped using it in No, I stopped officially using it for everything in like early of this month, early of this year, like February.
February?
Yeah,
Right. Who else has access to those accounts? Just you?
just me as to what I know.
Okay. Alright. So I'm here to figure out some whys, right? I'm not necessarily here to figure out whether or not like these things belong to you, but maybe help me understand like how this situation occurred, right? Because I think that's important to understand as to why, right? And it gives you an explanation to be able to say, hey, this is what happened, right? I don't look at it in ignorance. So does anything starting to come to your mind about why we would come knocking at your door so early in the morning?
No, I keep my head up and I try not to do anything dumb.
Okay, so on these accounts, right? So Google makes a report to us, right? We get things like your IP addresses. I've already did a search warrant on 2 of your Google accounts, Stampasher 21, Stampasher 25. You have multiple other ones.
Stampasher 21, I stopped 25. I stopped using. God knows when.
Yeah, it was one of your accounts.
It was one of my accounts. Yes. I'm not saying that it wasn't. I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm saying that hey, it was one of my accounts.
Sure.
I just don't use it.
Sure. Excuse me. Amongst others, there's one like an ad something at the
What?
Yeah, those are all tied back on your Google accounts to your IP address. All right.
I didn't personally make those.
Okay, let me explain these things here to you. So when we do this, and like I said, I've already searched your Google account, searched everything from beginning to end of your account that Google gave me. It provides me access logs, your IP addresses, locations, search history, Google Drive folders, everything, right? And so when we look at that stuff, we look to see, okay, how do we tie, like, what is this tied to? We searched Mediacom and T-Mobile, got records back from them as well, showing these devices are connected to their TV, right? We go into your Stampasher accounts, and we see things like your insurance card. We see things like, your name's listed all over the place, date of birth, phone numbers, things like that. It's all there, right? And in that, we also find a folder called right? And in this folder, there's right, which is not adult. It's not illegal.
Wait. When did I make that? Because I don't remember making a folder in that.
Okay. Well, there's a folder in there. Again, these are all tied to your address, to your devices, right? And so, and that's the other interesting thing is when we look at those accounts, they're all tied to certain IMEI numbers of cell phones, right?
Okay.
So it tells me it comes from one cell phone. So these multiple accounts that are all made, it's coming from one device. It's not coming from multiple places. It's not like I'm saying like, oh, somebody hacked your account in Istanbul and we're showing IP addresses and IMEI numbers from those devices. One IMEI number, one device, one IP address, right? That all comes back to you, okay? And that we find, okay?
Personally, I know that I didn't touch anything like that because...
So let me explain. So I found at least 24 images, all right? And I'm not here to question whether or not, okay, did he do it? Did he not do it? Like I'm past that point because of all the evidence I already have, right? Everything ties it to you. It's not like I'm seeing IP addresses in California, Kentucky. I'm not seeing access from multiple different devices where it has different logs. That's not the question, right? The question is okay, how did we get there, right? How did we stumble upon that? Was it an accident? Maybe you accidentally stumbled upon that. I don't know. I need you to help me explain to understand that, right? That's where I'm here, is so I can understand how did you come up with these images on your folder.
Good, this is a tactic detectives use called the minimization approach. Instead of accusing, Wilson positions himself as someone who just wants to understand the why. He's not saying Jason is a monster. He's saying, help me understand. It lowers the suspect's defenses, and it works. Watch what happens next as Jason begins to construct an excuse, and watch how Wilson methodically dismantles every single one of them.
So I don't know if it was sent to me by someone outside of me. Well, sent to me, but I don't know. I can't remember if I clicked something to add it to my forms, because I know there's forms, there's docs, there's all that. But I must have clicked on something that was more so like me trying to see work related, because I'm trying to get back into work.
How would you actually find?
No. What I'm saying is, people can throw into links.
Sure, but what kind of links are you looking at that would actually get you to?
Like, I do not touch that. I do not like that. I try to stay away from that as far as I possibly can.
All right, let's jump back here. All right, so adult, that is not illegal, right? Not anything that we would care about. All right, you're an adult male. You can do whatever you want. Do you look at adult?
Yes.
Okay. All right, how often would you say you looked at it? Like, are you casual?
In the
daily,
past,
weekly, monthly?
I'd say in the past week, maybe twice.
Twice, okay. All right, where do you typically find that stuff at? Okay.
.com.
Okay.
The typical one that you would look at.
Sure.
If you were to look at.
Sure. Are you in chat groups with people that trade? It's pretty common.
I used to be, and I'm trying to get away from people as to that.
Okay.
Because I've noticed that they have underneath them, well, no. So I can't remember their names, but.
Okay. So you're saying at some point they at least you've seen it?
Yes.
Okay. And how often would you say you've seen it?
Maybe once.
You've seen it once.
I've seen it once and then was all like, get this the hell away from me.
Okay. And how did you, was this through,
this was through, no, it's not through Telegram.
WhatsApp Signal?
One of those. I can't remember the exact name of it.
Okay. That's fairly common. How'd you find this group? Like, you just don't get a signal or?
It was the Anonymous, the app.
Okay. And essentially you guys would like trade that you would have, is that accurate?
I more so, I was like, hey, nothing related, nothing like that. And then next thing I know, he sends me a Google Drive folder of it probably whenever I clicked into it, because I didn't know what it was, because it said, as you said, it said.
Okay. There was adult stuff too, which is again illegal. So you're saying at one point you received a folder from somebody on an app that you downloaded up and then there was.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How would that then get saved to another folder? Because typically when you receive a file, it just goes to your downloads, right? You have to take steps to save that folder to another file, right? And these folders were saved in other files. That was under like a download section.
It also brought in malware to my PC.
Brought malware to your PC?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me.
And then he ported it into my PC and then fully,
So what else does malware do to your PC?
well, it was more so a Trojan horse to get access into my PC.
Okay. So what did they do? Because again, this is not. Again, I have IP addresses, device. Right?
Yes, sir.
It's not showing me the multiple devices. It's not showing me multiple locations throughout the country or throughout the world, right? Which it would, right? When those things are accessed, your Google account gets accessed. Those are all tracked, timestamped, and logged, right? Even if they're using a VPN,
Remote desktop.
even if they're using a VPN, it would still tag where the IP address is coming from,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And that's not things I'm seeing, right? Every time I ran an IP address, it comes back to Illinois,
Yes, sir.
right? So unless there's some massive deep state Russian conspiracy that's accessed this random guy's computer.
Well, there's also the remote desktop app, which I do have installed,
Sure.
and and I've noticed that it's been going crazy.
Okay. But that doesn't explain the lack of any sort of IP address outside of, again, when you enter those Google accounts, right? That timestamps and collects all sorts of data. And that data is not pointing to somebody accessing your account through remote desktops, through some type of VPN, nothing like that. It's just showing 113. And those addresses have to be specific, right? This is how it funnels its way through that traffic.
And like I said, I try to stay clear as I possibly can. And I genuinely...
It's one of those things where, okay, I try to stay clear. I would say that I try to stay clear too. And never in my life have I ever accidentally ended up in a situation where I've saved folders and files to my computer unknowingly, right? That's just not something that happens. There's intentional steps that are taken to get to that point. And again, I'm not here to discuss the if you did it portion of this, right? I'm here to discuss the why and try to figure out how these images ended up on your computer, right? And these are intentional steps that were taken. And an explanation of what actually happened is going to bode much better for you than a bunch of like, oh, this is weird, I have no idea how this ended up here. I do a lot of these cases. This is mostly what I do, right? And so every single time I have somebody sitting across from me and they try to come up with some weird roundabout, oh yeah, some guy maybe overseas hacked my computer and just placed a single folder in there, that doesn't make sense. The jury doesn't believe that. Nobody believes that. It just looks like somebody's trying to cover over their steps, right? But somebody who's truthful and says, hey, this is what happened. I screwed up. This isn't who I am. That shows at least remorse and shows somebody who's willing to take ownership of their actions and whatnot, right? So that's what I'm here for. So explain to me how you ended up with.
As I said before, the link from the anonymous app.
And then you saved that folder.
I saved that folder. I just didn't think exactly what was in it.
Okay. But you knew but you saw in that folder.
Yes, sir. And then I never touched that folder ever again, and I thought that I deleted it.
Okay.
He admits it. He saved the folder. He opened it. He knew what was in it. And then he says he deleted it, except he didn't. Because if you think deleting a file makes it disappear forever, you'd be wrong. Digital forensics can recover deleted files from hard drives and phones, metadata timestamps on every file, when it was created, when it was opened, when it was last accessed. None of that disappears when you press delete. And Detective Wilson knows exactly this. Watch what comes next, because this is where Jason's story starts to fall apart completely.
How old would you think this girl is right here?
Like 12.
How about these girls right here?
Younger.
Younger? Are you saying like
Younger than puberty.
are these images looking familiar to you?
That one, yes, because that one's on anonymous about every single time that I go on there.
Okay, so you've seen it multiple times.
Yes, and I'm all like, hey, get that away from me.
Okay, well, why? Okay. How about this photo right here?
Not off the top of my head.
How old do you think she is?
Like 5, maybe 6.
How about that one?
Younger.
Okay, have you seen that photo before?
Probably whenever I looked at the folder.
Okay. Why would you go, I mean, I guess, help me understand why you would go to a site, which you may sound like repeatedly, or use an app repeatedly, that you know there's on there, and you continue to go back, even though you're like, hey, I don't want to see this, but you keep going back. So help me explain that.
I was just trying to find normal conversations after I found that.
So even though you knew this was on here, you're like, whatever, I'm gonna keep going.
Well, it wasn't more so whatever, it was more so, hey, don't send me whatever you got. More so.
Okay.
I don't want that, like, let's just have a civil conversation.
So you're looking for civil conversations on.
It wasn't a site. It was more so a chatting app, like Omegle,
Okay.
but not Omegle.
Okay.
It was more so just text.
Okay. Have you ever? Would you say that you maybe have a addiction, and it's not something that you can necessarily control, but is that something you would say that you maybe have?
Yes, with the older
Okay.
folks.
Would you say it's plausible that? And again, I've talked to many people who've been in this realm. I don't think most of them ever intended to get themselves there. I don't think anyone ever intended to be in that area of things. But what we know with things are people who struggle with addiction, and again, there's a lot of stuff going on behind that, whether it's childhood trauma.
Definitely childhood trauma.
Sure.
Kyle LaRoe.
Who?
Kyle LaRoe.
What about that name?
Old stepfather.
Okay, yes.
Before Robert Ogburn.
Mm-hmm. What happened there?
About Robert Ogburn or
Kyle.
He was my sister whenever he was younger. Whenever she was younger.
Did he ever abuse you?
Yes.
And this is again, you're helping me explain the why now. Right now I'm starting to understand a little bit more. Like, this is stuff that gives me a better picture of the situation, and when I type out my report, I can kind of say, hey, this is the things that kind of maybe led to this, right? And so we have childhood trauma, right? We have addiction, like any other maybe addiction, whether it be alcohol or drugs or gambling. Those evolve, right? It's not typically something where somebody just stays like, I want to drink 4 beers a day and that's it. That's my cutoff. 4 beers turns into 6. 6 turns into 6 beers plus some hard alcohol. That turns into drinking and driving, right? Like that evolves.
And or getting into fights.
Yeah. Abuse, right? Your stepfather who was abusive. He wasn't born abusive, right? But things happen and evolve over time. And maybe he starts with just yelling. Maybe he starts with just pushing. then it turns into punching, and then turns into holding somebody down and abusing them. Those things happen. I think this is where we're at with you, that you started maybe with just some regular, right? And didn't quite get where you needed to go. And so you continued on, and you kind of maybe found yourself looking for younger and younger and younger. And this is the realm that you ended up in. You didn't intend to, but that's the realm you ended up in. Would you say that's probably accurate?
Not about the younger and younger and younger. The lowest that I want to go is like age of consent.
What was the age of consent to you?
Well, for the state it's 17. For federal it's 18.
What's the youngest you search for?
That I actively search for?
Yeah.
Like typical on teens, college students.
Okay. You never searched for preteens, anything like that?
No, sir. Unless if it was whenever I was younger, because I did get on whenever I was like 15.
15? Excuse me.
15, 14, I don't remember.
So you started watching when you were about that age?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He started at 15, and right there, something important shifts in this conversation. Because childhood trauma, exposure to explicit content at a young age, and the gradual normalization of increasingly harmful material. These are patterns that researchers and psychologists have documented for decades. This is not an excuse for what Jason did. There is no excuse, but understanding the pipeline that leads someone here is exactly what helps parents, educators, and communities intervene before it reaches this point. The warning signs are there: early exposure, online anonymity, unmoderated chat applications. We'll come back to that. But right now, the interrogation continues, and it gets darker.
I want you to know, too, that we've seized all your devices. We've seized your cell phone. All right, we will go through all of that. And here's the interesting thing, again, when we go through these files. When you look at the metadata, it shows when those files were added to those folders, right? So if you're telling me that this only happened once, it should show me that all that metadata occurred on the same date. But when I start going in there and start seeing, oh, this happened a few days, this happened a few days later, this happened a few days later, that's going to go against you, right? You understand that? And it's going to make you look like a liar.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And when people see that, when a jury sees that and says this guy's a liar, they're going to show, they're going to guilty right away. They're not going to care one bit because this guy's a liar, right? But again, I've seen it in cases where a person shows remorse and truthfulness and says, and ownership over things, and says, okay, well, this guy made a mistake, but based on everything else, like, you don't have a criminal history, you don't have anything, right? So,
other than possibly, no, I don't even have a criminal record that I know of.
Yeah, so it's not, we're not going to see this, like, evil guy that's out there making a bunch of, you're not making, you're not doing stuff like that, right? So, which route are we going to choose? The honesty and say, yeah, I did look at some of that stuff, I did save some of those folders, or we're going to look at the, I don't know how those got there.
Like, I will admit that I did save them.
Okay.
And I did look at them once over and was all like, oh God, no.
I appreciate your honesty.
Like,
right, that takes balls to be honest and some ownership in that, right?
Like, I will take full honesty on it. I did open it, I did save it, and then, well, actually, I saved it before I opened it, and then I was like, wow.
And you went back at least once and looked at it later on, is that what you're saying?
Well, more so like, I was like, what was this? Because sometimes my brain's all like, I needed to beat myself on the head with the stick.
Let me ask you this personal question here. All right. Did you ever to any of those photos of those girls?
No, sir. I have a niece. Actually, I have a couple nieces. And I don't want that life.
Okay. Let me ask you, have you, Lorelai was with you. At any point, have you ever taken photos of her?
No, sir.
Positions?
No, sir.
At any time, have you ever touched her in a manner?
No, sir.
Have at any point you touched any child under the age of 18 in a manner?
No,
When
sir.
you're above the age of 18?
No, sir. I do not. I don't condone that.
Well, let me ask you about what your sister mentioned when you were in junior high about her walking in on you and another little girl. Do you remember that situation?
Off the top of my head, not fully, but yeah, roughly yes.
Okay. You were in junior high, right? You were younger. Tell me about that situation. What do you remember with that?
It was probably just my little bit of me, probably most likely a little bit of me telling her to do something, and my brain just defaulted as to what Rob did. Not Rob. God, now I'm mixing up names. Kyle.
So you did touch her?
Not like a manner, but like as in like grabbed her, set her on the bed, and more so told her to listen and open her ears.
Okay. What did you tell her to do?
I was more so telling her to clean up her mess, and if she needed to go potty, go to the bathroom.
Okay. How does your sister interpret that as you feeling her area?
I didn't.
Okay. Do you and your sister get along? I mean, you guys live together, right?
We don't get along at all.
Okay, so she would make that up to get at you?
Roughly, yeah.
Okay.
That part, it might be a little bit of brotherly sister hate.
Okay. I mean, I have 3 sisters, right? And sisters were annoying growing up. I would say I probably had times where I didn't get along with them, especially my older sister. But I don't think at any point she ever made up an accusation to me. That's pretty aggressive, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, what?
Okay. Do you remember who this girl was?
Not off the top of my head.
It was Fifi. Is it familiar?
Phoenix, I believe.
Okay.
Phoenix. I don't exactly remember.
Is she related to you, or
No.
no? Okay. But you're saying at no point you never placed your hand on any in a manner. You never placed your hand on her.
No, sir.
Nothing like that.
No, sir. Unless if it was to move them out of the way of them possibly get like.
I don't know how you move it the way and grab it.
No. More so up here.
Okay. Okay. All right.
2 things are happening here simultaneously. Detective Wilson is documenting potential contact offenses, which are an entirely separate and even more serious category of crime than possession. And Jason is minimizing, deflecting, and blaming his sister for fabricating the incident with the young girl. This is an extremely common pattern in these interrogations. The suspect admits to the digital evidence because it's undeniable, but doubles down on denying any physical contact. Whether that denial is truthful, only a full investigation can determine, and that investigation is exactly what follows an arrest like this one.
So when we go through your phones and when we go through your computers, do you think we're gonna find additional stuff on there?
Other than normal.
Because again, the devices that we use, the stuff, technology we use pulls all the information out. So I see everything from beginning to end, deleted information, because that's stored still on some of the hard drive stuff. We're able to put that back together and see. So it's better now for me to know, like, hey, you might find a few more images versus, you know, I've sat across here from a guy who's like, yeah, I might have like an image or two, and I found, you know, additional 500, right? It's a huge difference. Now when the guy has to go testify in court, they're gonna be like, this guy's again, a complete liar. No remorse. So are we gonna find anything else?
Unless I could have accidentally saved it to my phone.
Okay.
And I don't remember how many.
What kind of phone do you have?
iPhone.
iPhone. When did you get the iPhone?
When I got it. So it was sent out to Apple for repair. Because
when did you get the iPhone? When did you buy it?
when did I buy it?
Yeah.
20 was recent. I want to say a year, roughly.
Okay. When did you have a Motorola? Was that the phone you had beforehand?
Huh?
Did you have a Motorola phone beforehand?
I just use it for like music whenever I'm door dashing.
Where's that phone at?
I literally just use it for music, so it's just sitting in my console
In your car?
in my truck.
Okay. Are we able to get that phone from your truck?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. No, I took it out because I was charging it and also adding more songs to it.
So where's that at? Your house?
Yes.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, I don't know where it's at.
Okay. What's your password to your iPhone?
21. Wait. No, that's not it. 2174? No, that's. I have so many pins on my head, on my brain, due to all my cards. Well, more so DoorDash card, my bank card, my like other
So how do you get into your phone with Face?
Face ID. I can't remember which one it is because I use like 20 of them. 21. Looking for 21.
Would I have permission to go on your phone?
Yes.
Okay. If I get consent form, would you be willing to sign the consent form? Your
Yes.
phone? How about your computers?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Before we leave here, we're gonna get that taken care of. And you said this was all done in this anonymous app.
Yes, a majority of it.
Okay. So
And
you
then-
didn't know who's.
I didn't know who it was.
Okay.
I just.
Another question I need to be honest with you too is, did you pay for those folders?
No, sir.
They just sent you.
They just sent me them. I do not send money. I do not like sending the money at all because scammers.
Sure. Did you ever, and you said you never personally requested images of younger girls?
Not off the top of my head.
Not top of it.
Probably whenever I was like 17 or 8, or not 18, like high school.
And what do you mean by, I guess, in your mind, which younger girls back when you were in high school?
Like 8th up to 9th. Well, 8 to 8th grade. More so whenever I was like freshman, sophomore.
You were searching for freshmen, girls' age.
Like in the same school as me, but more so just that was typically just trying to be in a relationship.
Sure, but were you searching for nude photos of?
No, not like actively searching for them. I was more so.
Have you ever had conversations with young people online?
Once or twice, and then after I'll have a conversation with them.
At any point, did you ever ask to meet up with them?
No,
At any point, did you ask them for photos, videos?
not off the top of my head.
At any point, have you ever sent a photo or video of yourself in the nude to anyone underage?
Not off the top of my head. I have whenever they were older.
I mean, to say not off the top of my head is...
Well, not all, well. I'm
I
more so
see-
referring to. I've sent them to older. I just. It could have been whenever I was drinking, and I just.
So you're saying
There's like a small.
there's a possibility
there's
that
a
you sent nude photos of yourself to...
No, well, not really.
Not really.
Not like full on like, oh hey, I did. It's like, oh hey, I don't know if I actually did,
I mean...
because I kind of do get blackout drunk.
Okay.
Trying to go to sleep
Okay. I understand that.
because, well,
Sure. I can understand that. I mean, I'm not one to send nude photos. I think I would recall if I'd sent some to somebody. I mean, I guess do you do it on a regular basis that you could have done, remember? Like, is that, like, do you do it regularly?
No.
Okay. So you don't do it regularly enough to, it could have, so you do it on a limited,
like more so, it's whenever I'm drunk, but yet also it's typically it's more so with an older lady.
sure. But you're saying that you could have, there's a possibility that you could have done it with somebody younger, but you just don't recall because you might have been drunk. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Where would you have done that on?
Snapchat.
Snapchat? Okay. What's your Snap user ID?
That golden sill, like that THAT golden GALDE. Wait, am I forgetting how to spell? Golden, typical how you spell it,
Okay.
and then sill, first 3 letters of Silverado,
Okay.
which is my newest account because, well, I just recently got back to Snap.
Why did you just recently get back to Snap? Like, did you get kicked off of Snap?
The phone that I have, it was priorly owned,
Okay.
and I was trying to access my Snap, and it said I couldn't log in.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Other than how long is roughly?
How long is what?
How long would I be roughly here for?
We're going to jail for this. We're going to be charged with possession. How many counts? Up to the state's attorney. We have at least 24 images. Each image can be charged individually. So, those are clear images. These aren't like age undetermined. You know, there's, unfortunately, in these situations, when you have kids like this, right, this girl will be abused. And because you're receiving it, even though you're not actually doing anything with this girl, you're exploiting her. Same thing for this girl. She's being exploited because of you. These two girls being exploited because of you. This girl being exploited because of you. Those other girls all being exploited, unfortunately, right? They're being victimized to trauma, just like you unfortunately experienced as a child. They're now continuously being victimized. And so this is a pretty serious thing. But how they charge it, how many charges you get, well, be up to them. Essentially, you'll be in jail at least overnight, maybe 2 nights, and then they'll have a hearing to determine whether to hold you or not hold you until your court date. All right.
Yes, sir.
So that's what's next. Let me go grab some real quick. I'll be right back. So just right here. Easy. Oh, all right, right back.
And with that, Detective Wilson walks out of the room, and Jason sits alone with what he's just admitted. At least 24 images, a confession, devices seized. What happens to Jason after this interrogation is a matter of public record and ongoing legal proceedings.
One for a rainbow, one for Amanda.
Who you playing with, sweetie?
Amanda.
Oh, who are you?
I'm Amanda. I'm 6, and I love unicorns.
Sexual predators are seeking kids online.
We don't know Amanda.
Learn how to report abuse at end-violence.org/protect.